Hi everyone, is Parul here, your usual host, life and leadership coach, and same topic on self-confidence. That's what we are here for. And today I have a special guest, Claus Geissendoerfer.
Hi,
He is, hi Klaus, thank you for your time. Now Klaus been in corporate world for last 15 years, managing projects. He also a mentor and a coach. But I want you to hear from Klaus on his own words. Klaus, can you please introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and a bit about yourself?
Of course. And first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's really nice to be on your YouTube channel. I appreciate it. So my name is Claus Geissendoerfer. I live in London, in Southwest London, in Kingston. I have a day job and a side job. And I think a lot of us do. So either you are already an entrepreneur, you're working fully on your own business, you might be an employee, you might be a full-time stay-at-home mom. It doesn't really matter. We all have different interests and do different things. And for me, it is, I have a day job. It's okay. It pays the bills. Let's leave it at that. I've learned a lot in my day job. But what I'm really, really passionate about is how does the human mind work? How does the brain work? How do we get motivated to do really, really amazing things, but also where do our negative thoughts, our negative emotions coming from? And I'm just really passionate. And since about, yeah, almost want to say since 15 years or even longer, I've been not like full time, but reading about it occasionally and studying this topic.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Klaus, for the short introduction. You seem to be doing a lot of personal development. How did you get into it?
Yeah, so I was dabbling in it a little bit. Couple of let me think about, yeah, 15 years ago I started. I just exactly, I was living in New York, I was living in New Jersey, and I had, as an IT consultant, similar to what I'm doing now, and I was traveling about 1 hour and 15 minutes by car every day to work one way. 1 hour and 15 minutes. That's a long time on the US interstate.
Yeah.
So I just needed some stuff to keep me occupied, if I'm honest, Prabhu. And I started buying, I think I had CDs. I'm trying to remember. I think it was quite a while ago. I think I had actually physical CDs. I was listening to audiobooks and different stories. And then I stumbled upon Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill.
Oh, yes.
And
I love the book.
You know
Yeah.
it? It's amazing, right?
Yeah,
and I listened to it. It was just such a great experience. I felt like a whole world opened. And then I just started listening more and reading more about it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Klaus, why do you think confidence is so important for us?
Yeah. So maybe we're still part of the introduction. So maybe I can go a little bit back. I was actually really like not confident as a child. I was quite insecure. I was actually quite weak.
Yeah.
I had a hole in my heart, 2 holes in my heart when I was born. And therefore I was a bit weaker, physically weaker. And also I was sick quite often. I missed a whole year, not a whole year, but I had to repeat a year because I was sick so often.
Yeah.
And not because I don't have the mental capacity, I just wasn't there to attend school. And even growing up, like, you know how it is as a boy, you fight with boys.
Yeah.
I was like always the weakest, like there's no point fighting with anybody. And that really, and I thought this is just who I am. I'm just like a little weak child. And I accepted it. And I became definitely more confident when I was 18, 19, 20, like better, less worse, I would call it. But then throughout my personal development journey over the last 15 years, I've really discovered it. Wow, actually, that's not who you are. You don't have to hide. If your boss says something, or if somebody who's more senior to you at work says something in a call, it just doesn't make sense. No, I try to be polite and constructive, but I now speak up. I now have the confidence to say, no, I think we should also think about this option. I hear what you're saying, but let's also consider something else. And it's just how the amount of changes it's made in my life has just been amazing, but also realizing it's a journey and it's not going to happen from one day to the other.
Absolutely. I mean,
yeah, so I can go ahead.
And I was gonna say confidence does take time. It's not an overnight success. You have to work on it. You have to grow your
Exactly.
confidence by
Yeah.
going through different experiences. And then you give a great example. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure you had the same, right? The older
Yeah,
you get, you
absolutely.
naturally develop your more confidence. But there are also certain things you can do to become more confident, to help you with it.
Absolutely.
And the way I look at it is, it's almost like a universal law. It doesn't really matter what you want to learn and what you want to improve on. It's always kind of like a very similar thing. You set yourself a goal, you achieve it, you set yourself a slightly higher goal. So let's just keep it simple. You want to lose weight. You set yourself a goal of losing 1 kg or 1 pound. Not sure 1 stone is probably too much. I calculate in kg. I'm continental, I'm German, as you can probably tell. So you set yourself a goal of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 kilograms. You then, how do I get there? Okay, I have to go to the gym 3 times a week. You do it, and after 2 weeks, you achieved it. And then you set yourself another goal. You just keep on going like that. And similar with, I don't know, with investing money. You invest a little bit of money, you get a good return. Or like me, I invested money in Bitcoin and it went down. It's not a good
Goes
idea.
up and down every day, isn't it? I get a little bit alert.
No,
Yes.
I invested last year in the summer and it was high, and it's definitely gone down since then. But I think what I want to mention here, the process is always the same. You can apply it to everything in your life. You can just maybe, so we got 3 steps: set a goal, track it, achieve it, and then set a new goal. So it starts all over again. So let's talk about setting a goal. Even with confidence, you want to set yourself a goal to become more confident. What is the very first, the smallest thing you can do? You need to think about your own life. It's, I can give you an example with me, which I had lately. I'm currently actually in Germany visiting my parents, and I'm working, and I have a busy day, Peru, as you know.
Yeah.
But my mom just constantly keeps coming in and interrupting me, and like, oh, do you want to eat something? And she's lovely. I love her.
It's
She's my
mothers
mom,
for
right?
you. That's what mothers do.
Exactly. But I'm like, I can't live there. I can't visit him for a week. I'm going crazy. He's constantly interrupting me, and just finding the confidence to tell your own mother, sorry, mom, I'm working right now. I have calls for the next 3 hours. Please don't interrupt me anymore. I'm really, I don't need any tea. I don't need any cookies. I'm really fine. So yes, so I set myself the goal. So I put now a little sticker on my note, please knock. It's a small thing, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
saying that to your mom, I think it required me some confidence.
Yeah.
So think about setting a really small goal, tracking it somehow. Do you want to write it down? Do you want to share it with your friends? Maybe share it with your best friend and say, tomorrow at work, I'm going to speak up in this meeting because there's something really important I need to say, and share it with a friend. And then tell your friend, you know what? Let's have a quick chat in the afternoon. Let's talk. Let's talk about lunchtime and see if I've achieved my goal. So the second step is you track it. And then, yes, okay, let's say the person achieves it. You have achieved your goal. You then celebrate. Maybe you do a quick high five with your friends. Like, yes, you achieved it. Or you didn't speak up. What happened in the meeting? Were you afraid? What are you afraid of? So a little bit of a lessons learned, retrospective, introspective, focusing, and just really trying to go inside yourself, analyzing it, either, like I said, doing it with a friend, doing it by yourself. What happened and how can I make it better the next time? And you set yourself another goal. Next Wednesday, same meeting, I'm going to try it again. I failed. It's not a big deal. There's another Wednesday coming, right? So really this small 3-step process is what you can apply to everything. Set a small goal, track it, and then when you achieve it, celebrate. When you didn't achieve it, pick your lessons learned.
Thank you, Klaus. You kind of answered my next 2 questions
already.
Yeah, but you can add it. I mean, my next 2 questions was how can you gain confidence? And the last one was, can you give me an example? You actually gave an example of losing weight, how people can do small step. You also gave an example of, reviewing it. So if people, if their meeting didn't go well, how they can go back and review it with their friend. But what I want to add in is
so I think what's really important.
Go on.
Sorry, do you mind if I just briefly
jump in?
Yeah,
so I just gonna say, if you want to add on more, feel free to add
on. I can add on, and maybe I can also talk a little bit more about faking it.
Yes.
So I think that's a really It's
Yeah,
a
that
really
was going to be my
interesting.
last question. Fake it to make it. You always fond of that. Tell us a bit
Where is
about
it?
it.
What's it called? Yeah, we think alike. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
With regards to the last step, really think about why you didn't speak up. What are you afraid of? Is it your boss? Is he intimidating you, or is it something you need to work on yourself? It does
Absolutely.
probably come back to confidence if it's in a meeting and you know you're smart, you know you're saying the right thing, you're just not willing to speak up. But just, I guess, just thinking about it consciously, because I feel honestly sometimes in our society, it doesn't matter, Germany, UK, Scotland, England, Wales, India, America, it doesn't matter where you are in the Western world or even general in the world, we don't really speak about our fears. And actually I'm biting my nails. I'm so afraid of this Wednesday meeting. I'm really biting my nails. And honestly, I sometimes when I'm stressed or so, for me, it's not so much fear, for me, it's stress, but there is fear in everybody's life. I'm afraid of things. I'm sure you're afraid of certain things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you all are there. There's nothing better than admitting it to a really, really good friend. Just talking about it and say, yes, this is cool. And I'm so afraid of it. I'm so afraid of it. It's just like, just saying it to your best friend is just so liberating, and just like half the fear really goes away by just sharing it and you can do a coach, it can be a mentor, right? It can be somebody you hire, whoever it is, it doesn't really matter, but just talking about it, sharing it, getting it out there, getting in the open is just so liberating. Yeah. And with regards to faking it, so there's an amazing research study from United States from Amy Cuddy. Okay. She's a distinguished professor at Harvard University, and she put this test together where people were going for an interview, and there were two groups of people. They basically all had I think they all had a similar CV, were all with the same experience, just different names. They all were told to say roughly the same things. So they were basically, the goal was to make the candidates as indistinguishable as possible. It's like, just imagine a row of people and they all look the same. like domino and the domino things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, domino effect, yeah.
And then you take those dominoes and put it into two groups. So take a group of people within two groups, one group of people, and maybe we should just do it on the call. If you're watching this YouTube video, either live or as a recording, maybe just follow me. So one group was asked to do a power pose, and I'm sure most of you know what a power pose is. Something strong, like
power
crazy.
move, yeah.
You can see my hair, I'm a bit crazy.
Yeah,
like,
I've learned a lot from Tony Robbins here, power moves.
Exactly, Tony Robbins, that's psychology 101. Yeah. You do a power pose, so that was control group number one, or like hands, do that for a minute. And then you would go into the interview, and like I said, questions, answers, CV, cover letter, everything was nearly identical in terms of qualifications. And the second group, the control group, were asked to do like 2 minutes of just head down, okay, on the table, low power pose, be quiet, don't talk for a minute, just keep your head down and be quiet and go in here. I'm sure you know who got hired, right? Yeah. It's amazing. It's just, I remember reading the results. I was like, the people who did the power pose were more qualified for the job. Why? They're all the same. They're more eager, more qualified, more able, more capable, more friendly, more confident. So the different interviewers had different rating sheets, and they were all hired much rated in terms of ability. They're all the same, but they came across more positive, happy, confident. And the team later did some analysis, and they really looked at their cortisol level of people, and their serotonin and adrenaline, and their cortisol was increased for people who did the negative pose, and for people who did the positive pose, their serotonin level and other chemicals and other hormones were actually decreased, were better. So you could literally measure it. And I think that's what I mean by fake it till you make it. Literally, you just stand there 1 minute, you smile, you look like an idiot. You fake it, even if you don't feel like it. You fake it for 1 minute and you perform better in an interview.
Great.
Harvard has proven it. Fake it till till you make it. It works so well. Another study, just briefly, was more done on, I mean, we're talking about confidence and fear and being afraid and trying to get out of a hole. I've experienced it my firsthand. My ex-wife was depressed for a while, and she was in a very, very dark place. And I wasn't really able to help. I mean, as a husband, you have no, but you need professional help.
Yeah.
But I did research the topic a little bit, just out of curiosity, out of love for her, out of trying to help her. And with my head on that I like psychology and mindset and Tony Robbins and those tools and technologies and those amazing things we can do to help ourselves. And the research study I came across was people with severe clinical depression were asked to literally bite on a pen for 30 minutes a day. Again, you get a control group and the group who had to do that stupid pen biting, and it worked. With clinical depression, there's scientific evidence that you can just put a pen in your mouth and you're less depressed. I think it's just, I don't understand why this information is not more publicly available. I think it's just so stunning. But yeah, I think I'm getting carried away. Do you have any questions?
No, that's interesting. Though I'm just listening about how you describe research, because with any research, there's a control group with drugs and there's non-control group with non-drugs, and you will see, is how people perceive it. And I like, how you describing fake it to make it, because you don't have to be, like in that level to make it. You can still fake it to make it. And that's one of the thing, as a coach, you're a coach, I'm a coach, what we teach people is go front of the mirror and visualize yourself or talk to yourself what you want to say. And that works. Absolutely, it works for me. I want to be a public speaker, but I visualized for 6-7 months before I actually went to the stage without knowing I was speaking, without a fear. So as you said, Claus, we all have a different fear. I mean, my fear was public speaking. I was shaking when I was actually speaking first time 4 or 5 years ago in a big stage. But that time I promised myself, no matter what, I'm going to come back and speak in the same stage later. Cool. And I had to visualize, I had to adapt a system, you gave a couple of examples, Claus, there, and for all of us, we have to find something that work for us, and we all different. So we have to find something small, a small step, but always fake it, because when you start faking it, you're going to get there, but you're not going to get there immediately. You have to, it takes time. Whether you visualize it, whether you visualize it or you try it every day in front of the mirror, or without a mirror, you just do your power move. Like Tony Robbins always say, your stance is really important. I mean, I've learned all this from lots of gurus. Always, if you are not feeling confident, have strong confidence. You fake it. You just say you are strong. Put that in your mind, and you can do it. So, thank you, Claus. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I was going to say, if you want to leave one final thoughts with our audience, what that would be?
One final thought. Yeah, I think. Yeah. It's really, really important to address these things, because life is too short. Life is too short to live in fear, to have fear of speaking. Like I said, I have a fear of confronting my mom, fear of speaking up at your boss. There's so many different fears, but life is beautiful. Life is amazing. But there are little things that always prevent us from achieving what we want, whether it's losing weight, going against your fear, becoming more confident, but really talking about it, putting it open, connecting with people like us to talk about it. I think, enjoy life and don't let yourself be held back by your fears and your limitations.
Thank you, Claus. Thank you very much. To audience, thank you for watching, and please do get in touch if you need any support, and it's part of Life and Leadership Coach. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, because you will get interview like this with lots of great tips. So do subscribe, share with your friends you think who need the help, because our YouTube channel always have full of tips and advice for you. So thank you for watching, and thank you very much, Claus, for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.